Hello from Design West 2012. I'm Chris Schufo for Extension Media, and we're in the Microchip booth, and I'm with Joe Drzewiecki, Manager of Software Development with Microchip, and we're talking about the new MPLab XE compiler strategy from Microchip. It's actually rather exciting, and it's very, very important. Joe, tell us what's new.
Well, the first thing that's new, Chris, is that this is one compiler line that really goes across all of our devices. We've also integrated a new license manager that will enable us to offer new licensing technologies like floating network licenses, and we've also taken the advantage of introducing a whole line of new optimizations for our devices.
So optimizations sounds like a good thing, so on the goodness chart you'd expect to see lots of optimizations, but what does that mean to the typical user?
For the typical user, and I'm using our XE32 compiler as an example right now, it's 30% faster or 35% smaller code size than our previous compiler.
So that sounds like a good thing, but what about in terms of performance? What about in terms of cost? And what about in terms of choosing certain devices in terms of optimizations? Can you elaborate just a little bit?
Okay, in terms of cost, we've actually lowered the prices of all the compilers by up to 60%. So now the Pro compiler is only $995, under $1,000. Standard compiler that has a little bit fewer optimizations is $495, and we have a really fantastic free compiler that does have optimizations, not as many as the 4Pay compilers, but it is totally free. And it's licensed for commercial use and everything. So you can go to market with the free compiler, and we're happy to do that.
So briefly, before we let you go, can you tell us some details about some of those optimizations, maybe drill down just a little bit? We do have a technical audience.
Okay, sure. Probably the most exciting ones are the whole program optimization and link time optimization. Whole program optimization is really the basis of the old high-tech omniscient code generator, but we've also introduced that into our 16 and 32-bit compiler lines. There's also link time optimizations, which when the linker looks at something, it looks at the entire image, so it's able to really get to the bottom of things and locate them in places that are most optimal for your own application.
Okay. All right, and one last thing. You had mentioned when we spoke earlier today is that the MPLab XE compiler series goes across the entire Microchip product line. Why is that significant for a user?
Well, it really balances out the MPLab X IDE. You know, for a customer, that means that any code that you write is going to migrate nice and easy up and down the product line. So if you have an adventurous marketing group and they want some more and more and more, you can go up to the next higher family of microcontroller and have a high degree of portability.
So it's software portability, and it also gives you future proof on your designs within the Microchip family.
Absolutely true, Chris.
Okay, so from Design West 2012, Chris Schufo for Extension Media, we've been talking about the MPLab XE compiler strategy with Microchip. Thank you very much.